Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this transfer news, talking about this Brazilian teenage sensation, Hendrik, as it has been reported that Barca are set to face fresh competition from Manchester City for the Brazilian teenager. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then to conclude, talking about Javier Tebas, as it has been reported that the La Liga president wants Lionel Messi to return to Barcelona, as he said. I hope he comes back. So guys, before we get right into the stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Why Barcelona, Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain competes for the signing of Palmeiras prodigy Hendrik. Another European giant has seemingly entered the chase for the teenage striker. According to ESPN Brazil, Manchester City are also interested in Hendrik and are set to send representatives to watch the 16-year-old in action against Fortaleza later tonight. The 16-year-old's first burst onto the scene during the Cofina Trophy or tournament, perhaps earlier this year, where he put himself on the radars of a host of top European clubs, including Barcelona. Hendrik even visited Barcelona earlier this year, along with several other teams. Barca are believed to have met with Hendrik's entourage recently to confirm their interest in signing him. However, recent reports have suggested that Barca have fallen behind the likes of Real Madrid and PSG in the race to sign the teenage wizkid due to their financial woes. And with Manchester City's entry into the race, things could get even more complicated for Barcelona. Hendrik penned his first professional contract with Palmeiras this past July after turning 16 years old. He signed a 3-year deal until the summer of 2025 and €60 million release clause embedded in it. However, a lower offer of around 35 to 40 million euros could be enough for Palmeiras to part ways with their teenage wonderkid. Even as clubs scramble for his signing, it must be remembered that Hendrik will only be able to leave Brazil and arrive in Europe after 2 years once he turns 18. While that might be the case, it should not come as a surprise that teams are trying to close his signing at the earliest possible to avoid a bidding war. But given Barcelona's iffy financial situation and need to strengthen several other positions as priority, whether they can compete with the likes of Man City, PSG and Real Madrid in the race for Hendrik's signing remains to be seen. Hendrik has attracted multiple suitors, top clubs across Europe, and the more this competition, increases, then the less likely for us Barcelona to get him because we are seeing the top dogs in Europe with financial strength than Barca entering the race for Hendrik, and that makes me worry because, of course, Barca were one of the very first clubs to be linked with Hendrik. Now we're talking about the likes of Manchester City joining the race. What do you expect? It's going to be difficult. Paris Saint-Germain is already there. Real Madrid is already there. And definitely when it comes to financial health, we can't match them. So it's going to be very tricky. Unless Hendrik really likes to play for Barca as his dream, Barca can't never win that race. Except Laporta has his other things that he knows how to, make things happen. I can't say anything about that. So the race for Hendrik continued to intensify. The player is seen as the next big thing from Brazil. He's just 16, but what he's doing there is just unimaginable. He's so good. He's so good. And he's seeing the top clubs that are linked with him. It means something, So these top clubs are trying to ensure that if they can get his signing early as possible, just book him because he can't travel to Europe. Normally in Europe, you can't get a work permit if you are less than 18. So he must come to Europe only after 2 years' time. So these clubs are just trying to see who can come to an agreement with Palmeiras for the player so that when that time comes, he's already a player. So let's see how it goes. Barcelona are still in the race, but they are facing very, very stiff competition from the likes of Manchester City, from the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, and from the likes of arch rivals Real Madrid. So it's never going to be an easy one for us at all. Of course, we know Brazilian have a good history at Barca and even Real Madrid. They have built a legacy, especially in La Liga. So I think for me, I expect Hendrik to choose La Liga over Premier League, because we know these Brazilians, they like La Liga a lot. Most of them play but in La Liga. And most of them always have this dream of playing for either Real Madrid or FC Barcelona. So let's see at the end the choice that Hendrik will make or who offers more to Palmeiras for the teenager. Then on to the next story of discussion. Speaking in an interview with Argentine publication Ole, La Liga president Javier Tebas has claimed that he wants to see Lionel Messi return to Barcelona. Messi left Spotify Camp Nou last year after having spent his entire career at Barca. At the club where were in no position to renew his contract. The 35-year-old joined PSG, signing a 2-year contract which will expire at the end of the ongoing season. With the Argentina captain set to become a free agent in the summer, a return to Barcelona has been touted heavily, and Tebas has now openly admitted that he hopes to see Messi back in Spanish football as it would be good for everyone involved. The La Liga president also aimed a dig at PSG and Ligue 1 in the process, saying that the number of fans that tune in to watch Messi play in the French top flight is much less than what it used to be when he was at Barcelona. He said, I think that Messi is not only missed in La Liga, but he is missed in football because the French league is what it is, right? I think that no matter how good he is at PSG, he is followed much less than when he was at FC Barcelona. He continued by saying, therefore, football misses Lionel Messi, and we hope he has a great World Cup because there we will be able to see him again. I don't see all the fans watching PSG against Nantes. I don't see it. The La Liga Supremo then admitted that he missed seeing Messi in action and hoped to see him back at Barcelona, as he said. At Barca, within La Liga, I did see him much more often. I miss him. I don't know if he will have one last chance. That will depend on him. I hope he comes back. Above all, it will also be good for him to return to Spanish football, especially to the team that saw him born. Tebas also claimed that Barcelona and Messi parting ways last year was a mistake. He said, because I think it was a mistake even for him, in my opinion, to break that marriage, that alliance since he was born in football, because it would have helped him a lot with continuity, like the Messi Barca brand, which is very important for a player. While Barcelona are hoping to resign Messi next summer, reports suggest that the 35-year-old could be headed to the MLS, where Inter Miami FC are keen on signing him. A decision on his future is expected after the FIFA World Cup. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.